Ladies and gentlemen, we're conducting business.
Controversial decision by Portsmouth City leaders sparks a massive walkout at tonight's council meeting.
Council struck down raises for teachers and staff, leaving a lot of district employees disappointed.
Chanu Hers at that meeting breaks it down for us. Chanu.
Right now, the city is funding nearly $53 million of the school's approved budget of $193 million, which doesn't include those raises. Many employees I spoke with had become hopeful after seeing other local cities get raises, such as Newport News, when their school board and council reached a tentative agreement for 4% raises. But after tonight's meeting, many left disheartened.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're conducting business.
It was a room full of sheer disappointment. Portsmouth school teachers and staff.
I thought we shared why we needed it.
Unhappy after City Council and the mayor approved the school budget without an additional $1.9 million for a 2% raise for teachers.
It just shows that the investment in education is not there.
Superintendent Dr. Eli Bracey walked out, his mood no different than those he came to support.
I think it's disheartening when we have other school divisions around us that are providing at least 2% increases to their staff, but we can't do anything. Our city council won't do anything for us.
I wholeheartedly share in that concern because, first of all, I don't think any of us would be here without the teachers and staff that paved the way for us to receive the education that we did.
On the council bench, though, they did get Mark Whitaker backing them.
I am pro-education, I am not anti-education, and I'm for, and I understand what our teachers and employees, I understand what they go through on a daily basis.
Outside, give the schools more district employees and school board members in their corner.
They shouldn't have to be out here. We shouldn't even have to be standing, but this is what we have to do. So that's why we have all these people out here.
But ultimately, the decision sat in council's hands.
We do want to recommend and want to, by going away from the method of funding, to allow the school system to, within their own budget, move money around to do what they need to do.
To make a decision, leaving most disappointed.
They won't even do a 1%. They just said no.
Dr. Bracey says he fears without council support for the raises, many teachers may look for jobs elsewhere. Chanu Hers, 13 News Now.
Here's a look at the national average for public school teachers. According to Business Insider, the average in the U.S. for the 2016-17 school year was nearly $60,000. In a state-by-state ranking, Virginia and North Carolina were at the bottom half of the list. Virginia came in 32nd with an average of $51,000, and North Carolina was 35th for teacher pay. The average there just shy of $50,000 a year.
Concerts at the Union Bank and Trust Pavilion have been rescheduled or moved because of a structural problem. Portsmouth City Council members learned about this last night, that the pavilion's main mast has a crack in it. During tonight's council's informal work session, city leaders said they have a better idea later this week just how long it will take to fix the problem. Engineers apparently found the crack during an annual inspection last week. Crews may need to take the canopy off to fix the problem. In the meantime, the first four concerts of the season have been rescheduled or moved. We have more details on the changes on 13newsnow.com.
It's primary day in 4 states, including North Carolina. Voters picked candidates in statewide races. One of the races was the GOP primary in the 3rd Congressional District. The incumbent here, Congressman Walter Jones Jr., defeated Scott Dacey and Phil Law for the nomination. He took 43% of the votes. There is no Democratic primary for the seat. There were a number of races across North Carolina today. We've been scrolling the results at the bottom of your screen as they come in. We have all of that for you online and on 13newsnow.com, of course, is our website and our 13 News Now app. Right now, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in North Korea. The secretary arrived this evening for meetings ahead of President Trump's planned summit with Kim Jong-un. This is Pompeo's second known visit to North Korea. President Trump revealed last month that Pompeo met with Kim Jong-un over Easter weekend. The president says the date and time of his meeting with the North Korean leader has been set, but he has not shared those details just yet. Virginia Beach police could soon put a stop to people who like to listen to police scanner traffic.
The department is asking the city for a $5 million police radio encryption program to prevent the public from listening in. Robert Boyd has the story.
Well, Regina, nowadays you don't even need a scanner. All you need is your phone. There are plenty of apps that allow you to listen in on police officers talking back and forth over the radio. But Virginia police say this is making their work difficult and dangerous.
Have an audible residential alarm.
From car crashes to home invasions, Harry Brogan is constantly listening in to Virginia Beach police scanner traffic.
If there's something going on in my neighborhood, I want to know. I mean, if I see 6, 7, 8, 9 police officers cruising around the area, I want to know what's going on. Is it something that I need to be concerned with? So what better way to do it than turn on the scanner and go, oh, okay.
The more serious issues that go out over the airwaves are often posted by Harry on his Facebook page, Virginia Beach Police Scanners, which has 4,500 followers.
All we're doing is we're posting the information that comes available to us and trying to get it out there in a nice, orderly manner without causing problems for the police.
But Virginia Beach police say it is causing problems, so they're asking the city to encrypt 2,400 radios. According to the Capital Improvements Program budget, with the prevalence of police scanner apps, as well as dedicated social media groups, police officers are unable to securely discuss tactical information while in the midst of conducting an operation. This has allowed suspects to evade capture and has placed officers and citizens in greater danger.
I don't think we have ever put anyone in direct danger, but it's not going to be a specific address during an active police situation. Never happened.
Harry also says encryption or no encryption, in the long run, it won't make a difference.
Because the scanner corporations are going to figure out a way how to unencrypt it and get it to scan. That's their business.
Now, the radio encryption program is currently part of the upcoming budget. The initial cost is $5 million, but there will be additional payments in the future that would put the total cost over $6 million. Virginia Beach City Council is scheduled to vote on it May 15th. Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
Excavation work has stopped for the day in the search for the remains of up to 7 girls in Michigan. Police in Muncomb Township say the bodies of up to 6 girls may be buried at the site, and excavation could take several days. Officers from several agencies are searching the wooded area for the body of 12-year-old Kimberly King, who disappeared in 1979. Arthur Ream, that man, is suspected of killing her, along with other victims decades ago. He was already convicted of killing a 13-year-old girl in 1986 and is serving life in prison.
People have kids that play around here, and just to think about that, you know, it's really scary. And I feel so bad for the families that are missing those kids.
Now, no remains have been found. The digging is set to resume tomorrow.
It was all an accident. That is what a Henrico mother says after her 4-year-old son shot and killed himself. Police are still investigating last night's shooting, but the family of Demetrius Jefferson claims he got a hold of a gun after his mother took medicine for ADHD and fell asleep. She says she woke up to the sound of the gun going off. Today, she shared this message with all parents.
I just want to let the parents out there that have been through a tragic accident like this that don't blame yourself. Boys, girls, they very active this generation, and I had to realize I can't blame myself. Stuff like this happen every day.
The mother said the gun was not hers. She mentioned the gun was a family heirloom, and she claims she kept it stored away.
That train derailment we told you about in Suffolk may cause on and off traffic problems for the next few days. 8 cars and 1 engine went off the tracks yesterday on Shoulders Hill Road in the Suffolk Meadows neighborhood. No one was hurt, and we're told there were no hazardous materials on board. But crews are now moving equipment into the area for cleanup. City officials say people should expect intermittent road closures and traffic detours. Some closures could last as long as an hour. Drivers should avoid the area for the next 2 days. There are some more options next time you want to book a flight. Norfolk International is adding 2 nonstop flights, one to Denver and the other to Orlando. Denver-based Frontier Airlines announced a new service this morning. Flights to both Denver and Orlando are scheduled to begin August 12th. There will be 2 flights a week to both locations. one on Thursdays and the other on Sundays.
This summer, it's going to be easier to visit beaches in Virginia Beach. Hampton Roads Transit is bringing back bus route 35. The Bayfront Shuttle runs from Rudy Loop to Pleasure House Road every half hour from 8 a.m. until midnight. The service launched for the first time last year. The shuttle starts up again May 20th. One ride will cost you $2, or you can buy a day pass for $4.50. Food Lion stores across Hampton Roads could soon see a makeover. The company says it will spend $168 million this year to remodel 105 stores. The investment will be used to upgrade stores, lower prices, and expand its produce line. The money will also help the company hire 5,000 new workers and promote current employees. Food Lion released a statement saying that it will keep regular business hours throughout the remodeling process.